Hey guys, if you love QF's content on our free Sundays and Thursday sessions, then please visit our Patreon page in the description and sub to the Black Kluge tier or higher for full access to not only our bonus weekly Tuesday night shows and the alternate Sunday shows you've been missing, but also to the exclusive episodes not available to the lower tiers. It's roughly the price of one coffee a month, and nobody at Starbucks will make you laugh like we do for that kind of scratch. In addition, when you sub to the Black Kluge tier, you'll get 2 weeks advance access to each Thursday session on Patreon before it makes it to YouTube.
This Travolta story is like the most wonderful, loving story ever. To say to someone, you've done it already, that's a pretty profound thought.
And everything's taken care of. So
nice. That's thoughtful. So you
thought this was something you should do?
Yeah. Because I didn't want my son to have to go through it, and I didn't want Stephanie to go through it.
Can I say something? That is the most loving thing you could do. And says, we got to work on your act. He kicks everyone out of the room and says, there are certain things you could be doing. He goes, your jokes are good, but I want to talk to you about owning the stage, your presentation. That is such a loving thing. What a hustle. It really is. And the other thing that I say, it's a romance between you two guys, because the fact that you had an agent before Matt, and then you said to Matt, hey, Matt, I got an agent. Why don't you go talk to him? I want to share him with you. I got to tell you, you might not think that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. I would be like, fuck Matt Damon. I do not want to, he's pretty good. I don't want to share my agent with him. I want my agent focused on me. I need some separation from this guy. That is the most loving thing you could do for another human being, to say, hey.
Really is.
And when I think about your early life, I thought that you would be the guy who would be filled with anger and resentment because you lost your mother at 14. I always say this, how are you so kind and loving and not bitter about that experience? I'm a father of 3 daughters. And when my babies were born, I love these, you look at them and I get the chills thinking about how exciting it is, and they're learning and they're growing, and then they start to walk, and you're so in love with your child.
What I'm saying is the fact that you were too busy for the kids and other things was not.
I wasn't too busy for the kids. I spent lots of time with my kids, but when I needed to.
I mean, that's when you wanted to.
Right.
And what happened?
Yeah,
well, our relationship as a couple fizzled.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
It happened from, it's just like the same, you've gone out with guys that, you're the boyfriend before Mr. X, where things for some reason go sour.
Yeah, it's because you're not there.
I know. Emily called me. She goes, Dad, I talked to the New York Post, and I don't know what happened to this article.
Right.
And I said, I go, it's all right. I read it. She goes, the headline was that my daughter's afraid to date. Meanwhile, she was just in a relationship. I don't know what. I said, what's that about? She goes, I don't even know.
So, how did they get that?
I don't know. But my daughter is fantastic. My 3 daughters are fucking amazing. And I'm very blessed. I have such a great relationship with them. And I really do. And
Welcome, ladies and gents, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm your host, Phil Moore, a.k.a. Jim Fix, and with me for this particular 2-part breakdown, and they're all connected. I don't even know why I say 1 or 2 parts, but Miss Raven, Alexis, how are you, my dear?
Hi, I'm doing great, and hello, QF world.
We had a lot of clips to get to put ourselves back into the mix in terms of how current the show is the current show is on fumes and what we've got left. A lot of Memet, strangely. He seems to be making a comeback, don't you find, with all Richard and Sal come back a little bit here. We're going to cover, hopefully, eventually when we get time, the Rasan Summer School, Rasan versus Memet Summer School blow up, which we got those clips handy as well.
I find it funny that you don't hear from Memet for like a year. Yeah. And then you get the summer school bit, and then he kind of gets Rasan kicked off of the wrap-up show. And then we have the Psychopath test, which I don't think I'm blowing it up for anybody. He came in first with Robin.
Right.
So I believe the whole thing was fixed.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be the first thing we cover. But then he came up today for a really fun reason that I hope we get to, and I'll share with you later. But the thing about the psychopath test was I went online and I played around with some of them and took them. I took one honestly, and then I took one the way Howard would take it, knowing what he knows from his therapist to get the lowest score. And it wasn't that hard. I actually scored lower than him. So I don't know that he even took the test. I might be inclined to think that Sam was told just make him the lowest number, whatever is reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
And doctor, it's a friend of hers. It used to be her babysitter. And this woman specializes in LGBTQ relationships.
Go figure.
Just the whole thing. And I think Benji and Memet not believing Howard's results, like maybe the whole staff wasn't in on it, but I think it was geared for the results to come out a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
And the doctor put this silly thing on it where she not only used the results from how they answered questions, but then she observed them and put her own points on how they took the test. Like, and she's also a fan of the show. So all of it seem very contrived and fixed and just sort of the regular bullshit that we're used to. Like, you remember the narcissist tests they took a long time ago?
Certainly, yeah.
Robin got the 30. She won. Well, that was with Dr.
Answered,
Drew.
And she answered honestly. Like, and that was the thing. And that wasn't made up, but then Howard lied, and he only admitted he lied about 8-9 years later?
I believe so. I don't time for me in the history of the show is sometimes rough putting it all together because it's all a big blur sometimes, but that's just, 30 plus years. So I think what you guys will see in these clips is maybe not in these clips, but it was the day after. Robin was very proud of herself for getting the score that she got, and she makes her special, and Howard's just normal. And so it was like she flipped it and made it a put down on everybody else, and how like it just, she embraced it. And she like told all her friends, look out, I'm a psychopath and I'm not responsible for anything I do. Or it was along those lines. But that's typical Robin fashion. Like, she is just, woo. The things that come out of her mouth, you're lucky if they make sense. And when they do, it's always, like you and Kayla are covering in her book, which I love how, she's always the victim and the hero at the same time.
Yes.
And that's just not possible. But that's what her and Howard love to do. They love to make themselves, so different. And they've had this hard life, but somehow they've managed to come out on top. And it's like, no, you've had a lot of great people around you, including Don Buchwald, that got you where you are. So whether it was Jackie, Billy, Artie, Don, just a cast of characters and a lot of good luck. A lot of good luck.
Huge.
And fat pockets on Sirius's behalf. I mean, whoever agreed to pay him that $500 million on the first contract should be shot. They should be drawn and quartered and just buried and pissed on, because it's bullshit. I don't understand why he has led the charmed life that he has, and then he does nothing with it. So it's just more infuriating.
Well, here's the thing with Robin and her acceptance of the psychopath thing, which is all bullshit. Like, basically, she knows, first of all, there's two things here going on here. First, she's getting attention, which, considering she's muted completely on, she's literally Beaker now, not even Beaker. When it comes to these celeb interviews, you don't hear her anymore, unless it's an accident or a fuck up, or he's desperate, like in the Aubrey Plaza interview, which we covered.
Right.
But also, she knows if she starts fighting it, she's going to get people are going to be attacking her, like, oh, that score's wrong, and I wouldn't, this way she nips it in the bud, and she knows it's horseshit. And it's like how she used to get upset when her singing was played, and now she starts singing off key purposely or badly just because, finally I have something to do. And I think that's really where it stems from.
I totally agree with you on that one. It's just who she's become. It's all that she has now.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, 1 year left, we're almost done this year. We got one more year on the contract. Who knows what'll happen or how far displaced she'll be from that, because she hasn't been in studio, but she's going out for dinners with Fred. She's probably going to be at the Christmas party. She's doing her own things on her own time. She's traveling, doing stuff. But for some reason, she's not allowed in studio, and she's got to wear that damn goofy wig of hers. So Howard still has has her under his thumb, let's say.
Yeah, and I'm going to say a huge thanks to one of our patrons, M. I'll just say M, because he got in touch with me and sent me brilliantly clean audio from WISP Days, which was a Philly station, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that was the one that I listened to from '86 on until they went to K-Rock. Well, even out of K-Rock, yeah. That was who broadcast simulcast down in Philly.
Well, either way, he said he sent, it was something off of he originally got them off a torrent site, but it was bits from from tapes, whatever they used to record. I think it was DAT, like digital audio tape back in the day, or VHS, whatever it was. They had crystal clear old radio broadcast bits from late 80s, some, but then also early 90s going up until 95, 96, I think about 96. And they had labeled them. This was like a work of, people wrote down the bits. They tried to approximate the dates. It's a huge archive of older stuff that's clean. And in addition to what G-Chup is sending me, and then what I've already got, I'm going to have one of the most complete sets of Stern audio that you can imagine.
So exciting. Thank you, M. I really am excited to hear the quality of the audio, let alone some of the older stuff. I know not everybody was around for that or remembers it, but we've already, Fillmore put it up in a thread with all of us hosts and said, hey guys, grab what you want. Yeah. My head almost exploded when I saw there was like 250 days worth to go through, and they're all broken down into like 10 to 20 pieces each. Yeah. So you can imagine, like, I just started claiming like two different things. I think I was going for some Seinfeld stuff. Yeah. And then him and fighting with his mother-in-law. So I know Wayne was on top of it, and I know everybody else will get around to it. Yeah. But it's so exciting because I pray to God that he quits after next year, but we all know that ain't going to happen. Mm-hmm. But if he did, we could just keep broadcasting all the old stuff and going through it. Oh, yeah. And be way better off for it, in my opinion. But I know people like the breakdowns because they don't listen, and I basically save them from the gay stuff, from the retarded stuff, the Marianne, the Bobo. I just streamline it into what I might find interesting or something worth discussing. So I appreciate that people enjoy them, and I'll keep doing that as long as he's freaking on air, because I'm not going to be able to retire. Even if I was retired, let's just say, I'd still be at home doing this job for you guys. It's this weird gift. I don't know, like, to be able to listen and chop it up, dissect it, and then sit here and go through it all again. Yeah. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's like a blessing in reverse.
Cathartic?
In a weird way. Well, yeah, it is. It's my support group. You are. You're like my therapist here, walking me through this stuff and making, laughter out of something that is just torturous by myself in the mornings.
Well, in case you're wondering, guys, we are also I'm going to do some Eric the Midget stuff soon with some various people. I'm going to do some more Riley. I know people love Riley, and maybe some Bigfoot, or I always said no whack packers, but I thought, why not? Because we're not going to mock whack packers, but sometimes the interaction with the whack packers when they were good, like when the really funny bits, even the Jesus twins, we are going to cover some of that stuff because because people did enjoy some of those things. So it was originally I had a problem with, why are we going to play like the roasts? People enjoyed them. They just want to listen to the roast. They want to listen to us listening to the roast and laughing. But then maybe there's stuff that I realized that maybe people would enjoy that go with the observations we make during the roast or during certain old clips that maybe didn't occur to us at the time, and that they are a little more revelatory well after the fact, or even, at the time that no one bothered addressing, or it just went by on the air and no one mentioned even at the moment. So that's why it's still worth going through some of those.
Yeah, I think we've realized now that the dirt baggery that is like what you and Len go through with Double A and
oh god, Lou Valera,
Lou Valera and Joey Buttafuoco, that there is gold there. As gross as it is, it kind of it's listening with new ears, or something that we've forgotten about and bringing that back into light. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the original Ham Hands Robin Sweetie call.
Yeah.
Where he pretends to be her dad. And I actually started laughing at it. Like, all by myself at work, just standing there and hearing the original audio. And I'm just like, oh my God. It was like a song parody contest, or it was just a listener contest to write a song. And he won the jet ski. He's paralyzed partially in a wheelchair, which was even funnier. And then they had Ralph trying to buy it, but eventually Dominic Barbara gave him, I think, $3,800 because it was like worth $4,000 brand new. But Ralph was offering him like $500, and then he went up to $1,000 and $1,200, and it was just something like that. You start listening. It was on Sternthology because they were talking to Ham Hands this week, but I didn't have to clip the Ham Hands stuff this week. It was just funny to hear the old one, and wow, just
quick question.
Go ahead. Yeah,
was Artie edited out of that clip, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, he was.
Wow. See, so they're still doing it. Mm-hmm. So they're still doing it, but they're not doing a perfect job because some of them are getting through.
Some get through. Well, some of them are important to what's being talked about.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's rare when you hear them, but you do. Some get through for whatever reason. Yeah.
Well, that's piss poor if he's getting through it all, because if the mandate went up and there's only really, so many years where he's there, and that meant a whole bunch of homework for someone to just go through. Do you know how painstaking that fucking job is to get him out of every single clip of every day for almost 8.5 years? It's insane. Later on, especially 2009 would get almost useless. You'd be cutting out whole hours out of the show.
Yeah, that's Guantanamo level shit right there.
Yeah, big time.
Have to go through.
Have to go through that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go with November 4th. This is the Psychopath. Tests that they took, which were, and this is not the first time they've done these things. Like the first one, obviously, the Robin, the narcissism test, but then they've done the, let's say, the polygraph test with Ed Torian, which used to be a lot of fun, actually. And being able to do Ed Torian voice is fun. But then they did this. They had one come in, and after Artie, there's two women. There's a guy and a girl, two different ones. And they were very fluffy. So this is like the fourth time, I guess, when they've had someone come in and tell psychologically what's wrong with them. If you cut aside the, Ablo appearances where he analyzes the staff relationships. Well, my question is this: if there's only 20 questions, and it takes 3 to 4 minutes to go through the test, how it can't be very in depth at all. No, it's just surface level stuff. So. And you only have 5 choices, strongly disagree, neutral. Well, then those agree, are complete bullshit. And strongly agree. And you know that Memet, the only reason he gets the psychopath one is because he knows if I answer and become the psychopath according to the scores, I'll be on the air more. So he's angling for something. Maybe he just wants more money, and he knows this is the way to do it. I'm not sure, but there was one person who refused to do the test, and that was Wilding. Wow. Not sure why, but he claimed that it was going to be skewed because Sam had her babysitter as the doctor giving the test, and he didn't feel that the test was going to be done properly. Something, I don't know, it was sketchy, but for some reason he bailed. But they did 19 people. Yeah. And I got some of the scores, but not all of them. Okay. So anyway, let's go with the first clip. Robin had dinner with Fred. This is leading up to it.
How did the dinner go with Fred? Was it weird at all?
No, it was great. I was so happy to see Fred, and we had a great time, and we couldn't stop hugging each other and telling each other how much we love each other. So I don't think we're psychopaths.
Do you?
Really? Yeah, I love how it goes.
Okay.
Huh? What? You exchanged emotions? What the fuck's that about? Well, that's okay. That's two humans, sort of humans, relating. Like Fred's a bit of a subhuman. The more clips I play of him, the worse he comes off. And Robin, but they're more human than Howard is. That's for certain.
Right. Well, it kind of puts Howard in a corner.
Yep.
Kind of like when she was talking to Richard Simmons and he wasn't.
Yeah.
So she has her own little universe of people she speaks with, and he knows nothing about it. In fact, she barely takes his calls. He calls her all upset after the election.
I remember that.
She refuses to answer.
Yeah.
And I think it's just funny that he's clueless as to what might be going on without him. And then one has to wonder in the back of his mind, like, what are they talking about? Are they talking about me resigning? Are they talking about negotiating contract? Don's dead. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
So it was an interesting thing. And she was out with, out in public, but not in studio.
Yep.
So
next one, staff are a bunch of self-serving fuckers.
So you get a score from 0 to 100. The higher you score, the more psychopathic you are, and then you fall into a category: low, moderate, high. Yeah.
And
low, moderate, high sounds like so unscientific. It sounds like, I'm a mild psychopath. I'm a high psychopath. Oh, I'm a low, I'm a really pendy ante fucking psychopath. There's got to be some, if they really wanted to do this properly, they would have made it last over 2 days. First of all, if I'm programming it, let's spread it out over a couple days worth and not over the bickering necessarily. Just make it like an SAT exam kind of thing. And see how deep you can get with these people, and do it legitly. Do it as realistically as possible, and have a proper doctor. Now, this one supposedly, her name is Dr. Frankie. I went and looked up her website. I think she went to was it Michigan or something. I can't remember, but I don't know. Either way, she might be a doctor. She might be a doctor. I don't know. I'm a doctor, but either way, she the one of the funniest things, what you mentioned earlier, she specializes in trans issues, whatever, and I thought that must have been the thing that ticked Wiggy, made his wig stand up on its end. And oh, she's involved in trans. Yes, have her in. It's no different when that Jason Ellis was talking to whoever it was on that podcast and said the only angle I had to get on the show was to show my dick or to have talk about having gay sex. Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, and they go, oh, you'll get on with that. So why is that?
Maybe he's hoping for some free sessions with her.
Yeah.
To discuss, tendencies of friends that he has. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding. So keep going a little bit. And sorry.
No, just real quick. The range for low is 0 to 35, moderate 36 to 60, and high is 61 to 100.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, nobody tested high.
Yeah.
Not even Robin. And it's real easy to test high. I mean, you just got to know how to answer questions. I mean, it's not. Right. It's pretty obvious.
Pick the extreme needed for the question.
Right.
And so the highest someone could get is 100 points. Have you ever tested someone and they've gotten 100 points?
I have not, and I can say nobody on your team is certifiably psychopathic. So that's good.
I see. That's
However,
good.
Yes, but a good number did fall in the moderate range. That's 36 to 60.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Several people fell in that range.
Yes. So they may struggle sometimes with empathy and compassion. They may be manipulative. They may use their, superficial charm to get their way. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, Jesus, go figure. The next one, number 3, no one tested in the 60s.
Imagine someone in this room tested in the 60s. Dr. Frankie almost fell over. That's a very high score, Dr. Frankie, I have to say. In the
It's
60s.
significant.
Significant.
Yeah.
Were you
said.
happy
Did you hear
were
that?
not in the room with them?
Yeah, you don't know.
Some
you
of them,
should be
yes.
Hey, notice she did correct him,
Yeah.
but no one tested in the 60s.
Right.
The highest score was Robin and Memet at 51.
Yeah.
But
so why
79
why does-
doesn't know how to, greater
listen?
than or less than. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to round it off to 60. Next one. Benji knows 79 cheated. I love this clip.
And you're going to be the lowest, but I would like all your questions to be broadcast.
You don't
Henry.
get that.
Oh, you don't get. I call the shots. Read the sign behind you, Howard Stern
it will
show.
be Wolfie.
You see, okay, but why? So Howard needs that protected. Like, if you had nothing to hide, you would not make an issue of that.
Exactly. But he didn't know how to defend himself. He needed someone else to step in there
Yeah.
and say, no, you don't get that. And
Right.
that was, Benji went on for quite a while, like 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
just picking him apart, calling him out for being liar, cheater.
Mm-hmm.
And it got him so irate, he basically just kicked Benji out of the studio.
No
Because
kidding.
all of these guys had to come into studio for this.
Yeah.
Sal complained about getting up at, some ungodly hour to be in studio. And, but Howard wasn't. Robin wasn't.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Fred was. I think he still worked from home.
Yes, as far as I know, that's still the case. The next one is Memet also jumping on the bandwagon with Benji and saying he doesn't buy Wiggy's bullshit either.
To me,
Robin,
the
who do
surprising thing is that, Howard, Robin, Jason, or Benji may be the least psychopathic person on the staff, and that makes absolutely zero sense in my brain.
Zero sense in
that
your
doesn't
brain.
compute
Can
whatsoever.
I say something, Memet? I'm gonna take a point up with you. I truly believe I am the least psychopathic. I really believe that.
Mm-hmm. That's why
It's either
you
going
were
to be
my
me or
choice for
Jason.
number one.
That doesn't mean no. I believe I've raised some wonderful children.
No,
Years ago.
No, you didn't.
Well, yeah,
No,
years ago.
The whole time, and he's still raising them. He's still
Yeah, I raised them. Did you just say yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy how he just contorts and twists the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Awful.
Well, when did you listen by any chance? Have you listened to? I think you did. The KC Saga Part 5. It just got released. I don't know if you caught up to it yet.
I've been busy with clips, so I'm going to get to that tomorrow.
Okay.
First thing at work.
Because I'd like your thoughts on it because when I first heard the clip, the original, the KC snaps and says bullshit, yells at bullshit and whatever. I knew. First of all, I heard the bleep version and originally, and then when I finally saw it, I didn't get any further into the video than, let's say, 25 minutes in. But when you get further to another point, it cycles back, and then all of a sudden you see KC looking at the Howard and kind of looking through him. Do you know what I mean? And he calls him out for going back to that cyclical abuse, like, oh yeah, it's Jason. Jason will do it. I do a shit job. Give it to Jason again. Because he brings it up like we're all good. Then Howard starts the abuse again, and Casey calls him on it.
Oh, because when I saw that in part 4,
Yes.
I watched the video of him blowing up, and I rewound that a couple times.
Yes.
And how he snaps, and then he has to leave the room,
Mm-hmm.
go cool off, put on some chapstick,
Yeah.
and then come back, and he's just like you guys said, he's the best employee he can be at that moment.
Yep.
Just to he's got a shield on him that nothing's going to get through at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that he was going to blow up again. Is that what you're saying?
He doesn't
In
blow up
part
again.
5?
He doesn't blow up again, but he essentially calls out Wiggy for his bullshit. And he's saying, he's saying,
Okay.
no, you're abusing me now. And I know this.
All right.
And you know this. And we both know that we know this. So let's stop playing this fucking game. And I was floored. It was really, really, it was actually disturbing, actually.
Okay. I can't
Yeah.
wait to watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's already up, guys, and like I said, anybody's not on Patreon to watch it or look at it, please do. It's totally worth it. The video links are provided.
Yeah, I've told CA privately how glad I am that she decided to tackle that subject because I think it's overlooked. All the mental abuse that took place on the show back in the day. We obviously talk about Artie all the time, but I'm glad that she picked up the baton for Casey and is going with it, because it's so brutal. Like, the guy has very few brain cells to begin with. Let's just be honest. But he was a good worker. He was juggling everybody else's job because they were delegating it to him.
Yep.
And we know it's Gary. We know Stuttering John. And then Jason was an intern, so Jason just got whatever was left over. And it's a phenomenal saga that you guys are doing. It kind of breaks my heart in a way, but that's what the show was. If you signed up for that show and you didn't know what you were working with, or it was too late to get out,
Yep.
no wonder, it just breaks you down.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to be extremely strong-willed to survive there and to leave with your sanity intact. And the thing is, I don't believe that a strong-willed person could last there. They'd push them out because if they couldn't be manipulated, they wouldn't last. That's the whole point. Like, they're
Right.
looking for damaged people that are willing to be malleable and, go their way and would take the abuse. And if you don't take it, what good are you then? That's why Jackie eventually, when he left, like, he was going to have to leave because it was about money mostly, but he also walked. I mean, he did walk out. It wasn't them kicking him out, but they could only take so much of that before they decided, okay, we need someone that we could just bitch slap around, and that's Benji.
Yeah, well, you explained it perfectly.
Anyway.
How they have to be malleable and usable.
Yep. The next one is Benji continuing, exposing Dr. Frankie's bullshit and Dr. Ashley too. I love this.
Did he go straight by the answers, or did your interpretation have any influence?
It's a combination. My observations were taken into consideration for sure.
I want to say something. Dr. Frankie's right, because my daughter does a lot of this stuff. She, too, is a doctor. And she, you got to have high expertise to give these tests. In other words, there is some component of the doctor's interpretation. You know what I mean?
Well,
Fuck off. And by the way, Dr. Frankie, have you been observing her for decades? Have you been observing him for decades like us? Have you been putting out, constant proof of his fucking deviant behavior and stuff? That certainly more psychopaths would be. He's not a psychopath, but he's closer to the 100 score than any of them.
My question is, could he have been talking about Deborah? What is Deborah's degree in?
Yeah, I think it is
work?
Deborah. It is Deborah, and I believe I don't know exactly. I think it's psychology exactly. It's some type of psychology. It's not because Ashley became a nurse.
Right. So does Deborah have a doctorate?
I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay. So all right. I'll my bad on that one, but my immediate thought was Ashley, and that's why I put that. So I apologize.
But I mean, if you get a doctorate in English literature and someone on the plane says, "And is there a doctor here?" You don't put your hand up. Okay, I recommend reading 4 sonnets and take some aspirin, and you'll be all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I wonder what Deborah would give her dad as a score, just observing him.
Oh God!
Right?
Like, yeah, that one.
Come on, let's.
Oof, that would be fun.
I'd love
Give
to
her
hear
some
that one.
truth serum. Okay, next one. Wiki gets shit from Robin.
But I will say this. This panel does not surprise me. Dr. Frankie's test has some legitimacy. I do believe I will be the lowest. I really feel I'm in a healthy space. Robin, Jason, Memet, and Benji. I don't know how it's going to play out. I believe Memet might be the biggest psychopath. I'm praying to God it isn't Robin, because I will never hear the end of it. And I mean, that's the scary part.
What's it got to do with you?
I don't know. Because when you're upset, I get upset. You know how you are with me. Now,
that's projection, first of all. When you're upset, everybody else must be upset for you.
Yeah, I have to wonder, like, the dynamics of how, we know when he's upset how it goes, but when she's upset, what does she do to him is
Nothing.
my question. Like, why is he saying this? It's okay, is projection. Is he just gaslighting her to make her appear more psychopathic, more narcissistic?
Yeah, I believe so. And I mean, we've done enough Robin coverage to know that the two of them are at the top of the dunghill. Like they're both on they're just they're like I don't know, like the 100-meter dash where the one person's literally a nose ahead of the other person, and that's Wiggy. But I mean, she's not eating his dust. Let me put it to you that way.
No, I gotcha. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Next one. Robin reminds us how Wiggy cheated.
I think that Howard manipulated the narcissist test. That's how good.
Oh my God! Now you're attacking me. You see why you're a psychopath?
That's very narcissist thought, Robin.
It's true. Well, that's psychopathic. She attacks me when she tests poorly.
Hey,
I mean, it's crazy.
No, she's telling the truth. You did fail that. You manipulated that fucking test. She's right to say that. And why is that psychopathic for telling the truth?
This history, we needed to state it out loud and put him in his place. I mean, this is the dance they do.
You better believe it. Next one. Wiggy is a psychopathic power bottom.
The least psychopathic staffer is Dr. Frankie.
The most psychopathic staffer is Howard.
I knew it. I told you guys. I told you.
Congratulations.
I have worked on myself.
The least most?
Yeah, that's
what
the
kind of
stupidest
fucking
thing.
doctor is this? Give me a break.
Yeah, doctor.
That's bullshit. Bullshit.
Doctor 79 wants to tell us that Howard's the thing is, someone said, like, because people throw around these terms, sociopath, psychopath. There's a movie called Underground by it's Dennis Leary and Joe Mantegna are in it, and it's one of the worst movies of all time. But his character, Dennis Leary's like a hitman, but he goes, why do I have to be psychopathic? I like sociopathic. It sounds more social. I'm not an introvert. It's not what it's about, dude. But that's the level of discourse you're getting from the show. Like someone has asked ages ago on some forum, like, do you think Howard would be capable of let's say murder or some kind of like diabolical thing? I'm like, no, I don't think he would be. But do I think he wants to kill people literally? Yes, I do.
Well, it just reminded me of like when he couldn't say Pythagorean.
Yeah.
Like his English is bad.
Yeah, God, I love that. That clip was so good. Now the problem is I spelled it. I typed it out phonetically, so I'll never find it again.
No.
Anyway, I know it's from this year, so I'll have a little worksheet of all his audio, his vocal fuck ups. So here we go.
Thank you, Dr. Frankie.
All right,
oh my God!
How many days in the psychiatrist's office, and you're still on the list?
Excuse me, darling. I am the least. In other words, every one of you. Look.
Just tell us.
You're
how
so
many
jealous.
Years and how many days?
Oh my God in heaven! You are so jealous, ladies and gentlemen. What we've just learned from Dr. Frankie is women right now are swooning because your hero is the least psychopathic. Even Dr. Frankie's saying to herself, I should have married Howard. I mean, what a healthy human being.
He's a psychopath, but not much.
Dr. Frankie.
What was his score, Dr. Frankie?
Go ahead, Dr. Frankie.
24. And my guess is really low. The lowest.
It's not insignificant.
What do you mean, my guess? My guess is. Don't you have the fucking numbers in front of you, bitch?
He is just atrocious. I mean, everything that she said just either made no sense or it was so like biased.
Yeah.
And the way she would describe people, like she's just a fan of the show who wanted to get some free publicity for her business.
Yeah. And
Bullshit.
then yeah, and the other thing, she's rocking a pink look circa 98 or whatever, 2000. She's got tattoos, sleeve tattoo, like Tanko tattoos kind of thing. And I just, before they used to get these people wearing suits coming in and dress. I don't know what she looks like if she's in the studio. I don't think she is she?
No, she was in California on a Zoom call.
There you go. Perfect. So either way, this is the show, scraping the bottom and turning it into, I don't know, fucking pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. But next one, guys, red flag victory lap reminds me of fake hair awards. I completely forgot about that. Was it 3 years he got the best hair?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this award doesn't exist. It's actually something you pay for. It's something you have to spawn. It's basically, like the tellies. Years ago, they used to brag about the tellies, talk about the tellies, and they debunked them. And then in the Summit video, the infamous Howard Summit, at the McGraw-Hill building, that he was going, DePace, where are our tellies? No one needs to know they're fake. Bring them in to show people what we want.
Unreal, right?
Incredible.
Dr. Frankie, what you're saying is, I am empathic. I'm wonderful. Please talk about how wonderful I am, if you would. If someone was considering me to be a friend, go ahead.
You're accountable, responsible. You take calculated risk.
Responsible. Accountable. Holy fuck! You take the next? We cut into it. You take risks or something like that.
Risks.
That's true.
You're sincere, thoughtful, considerate.
True.
Thoughtful.
Considerate. What?
Now that is funny.
Yeah.
Empathic, compassionate.
True.
Mindful, self-aware.
I don't see it.
Is he? Who's that? Remember that TikToker? Mindful, and what's the other one? The one that uses mindful, and what's the other one? The trans guy that it got really big on Instagram or TikTok that used to use mindful and demure. That's the other one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I forget. Let's hope that 15 minutes is long up.
Thank you. Excuse me, Robin. Excuse me. We're talking about me now. She can't stand, these psychopaths can't stand when someone is healthy. What else am I, Dr. Frankie?
So it's obvious you've done a lot of work.
Can I say something, Dr. Frankie? Is it fair to say, in your professional opinion, that I am the total package, except for my face? Don't take.
You're the total package, all right, buddy. Your entire face was sculpted from some kind of demented clay, dude. Go ahead.
Oh, he is just a package of everything wrong. Every nightmare you could conjure in a person, it's all wrapped up in him. And everything she said, just take the opposite of what she said, and you've described him. And all that work that he's done has taught him what a normal human would respond, a normal, caring, compassionate person would say. So that's the work he's done, is learning how to fake a test and answers. If he even took this test, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the one takeaway. I mean, how do you even know he did answer the questions? Like, how do we not know? There was just some mandate. Someone said, like, Gary told her to read her the riot act, say, whatever you do, give him some kind of low score, but don't. If he did score as a psychopath, just change it, because he's not going to be able to take it, and we can't fucking take it.
I mean, he took it in his house. Was she going to watch him on Zoom? I don't think so. And Benji even wanted to see how he answered. Like, he wanted to know his answers to all the questions so that he could like chip away at him. But that was blocked, of course.
Also, that's not scripted Benji questioning it. That's Benji saying it because he knows it's bullshit.
Right. He's just fed up.
The show's not meta enough to include naysayers in this particular thing. This has to happen because Benji knows, number one, that he can push a little bit. He knows exactly how much he can push without really forcing the issue. And the reason why for mentioning Benji is that we're going to go into the victory lap session, and we're going to play a clip that corresponds with something that Howard's challenging Benji on, and hopefully we'll get to it.
My face into account. I'm talking about as a human being.
Stop it.
Okay. Now listen, Dr. Frankie, you've just revealed wonderful results. I can't wait to tell my wife.
I'm floored. I'm fucking floored.
Memet, you know why you're a psychopath?
First time in 10 years, I'm speechless. I mean, are we fucking serious?
Now,
you know
this means, Howard, forget him. It means I'm either going to be in a group with either Benji or Memet. I'm supposed to live with that.
I know
Let
you
Memet
guys
vent. Go ahead,
guys
Memet.
make
Go
the
ahead,
Trump
you jealous
comparisons,
prick.
and I swear, like I don't want to go down that road. But how
You're very
can you,
Trumpy.
how can you do anything but throw out the test results when the least psychotic person on the staff is Howard Stern?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm not a psycho. And you know why you are? Excuse me, Robin. You know why you are, Memet?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're so out of reality.
Okay.
You don't even, I mean, when I hear you talk, I love you. You're a talented guy.
Likewise.
I don't want to beat you up here. But good Lord.
Likewise.
I mean, when you talk, I'm like, this guy's a fucking psychopath.
I feel the same way. That's why I'm so shocked.
No. You're shocked.
Okay. Next one, King and Queen Psychopaths crowned.
Go with that. So, I know it's a tie. Who are the two biggest psychopaths?
Who should be
tied for
hanging out
first place?
together?
Yeah. Who are the two we should avoid the most?
Wait, I want to look at Memet's face when he hears his name.
The biggest Stern show psychopath is Memet and Robin.
Oh! Wow.
They tied.
No way.
No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
With Memet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My brain, there's nothing happening. I don't know what to even say right now.
Well, Benji, first of all, let's just point out, Benji came in second place.
Yeah, very high.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And Benji was only 2 points behind Memet and Robin, who basically scored twice as much as Howard. And he's the most realistic and in touch person. So, yeah, thank God for Memet at least being able to voice any disdain or, ridiculousness to point it out that Howard Stern is far from the most normal on this.
Do you remember the link you used to take the test?
You can just Google psychopath test.
Okay. Psych Central?
And
or
I used the first one that came up.
Okay, so let's see what it has here.
See if they have it might have been the second one because I don't think the test came up fast enough. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
It was one of the top ones.
Psychology Today.
Big.
All right.
There it is, that one. I remember the format.
All right. Well, what did you say your original score was?
Oh, my original one?
I mean, for you, the one that you did honestly.
Oh, I didn't say. I'm trying to remember now. My lowest one that I could get was a 20 when I tried to answer like him. And I think I came up with a 32.
For yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me why don't I do one just right now and in real time really quickly just to see, because it's only 20 questions. I've always found it easy for people, and this is also for you guys if you want to. It's on psychologytoday.com. I've always found it easy to convince people to do favors for me. I'm neutral on that. I mean, I think everybody's different that way. When I know someone is struggling, I think of them often and hoping they're doing okay. Agree. But no, what is it? Between neutral and strongly agree. Generally, I do think that way. Other people make so many stupid mistakes compared to me. Disagree. I make a lot of stupid mistakes. I don't see a problem with lying if it helps me get what I want. Disagree. It's not good to be lying constantly. If someone told me, no, sorry, I didn't say disagree. It was neutral. I gave neutral, between neutral and disagree. Number 5, if someone told me that I hurt their feelings, I would feel badly. Agree. Yes. In truth, I find most people boring or stupid. I'm neutral. I've met lots of both. People often blame me for things that are actually their fault. Neutral. I don't know. That doesn't really come up. People who refuse to break rules out of principle are foolish. They'll never get ahead. Disagree.
Yeah.
Number 9, seeing someone cry has little effect on me other than maybe irritating me. Disagree. I hate seeing people cry.
Same.
It's fun to antagonize people just to see how upset they get. I'm neutral. I can do it for fun, but I like if it's busting balls and stuff, that's obviously everybody's guilty of that. So
yeah, I strongly disagree with that one, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, like, what's the context? To me, it's like with a group of friends and you're just kind of poking at each other to make fun, like at a roast, situation or something. But I don't think it's fun to Yeah, you're right. Fun.
Well, it's to see how upset they get. You're testing how upset you can make somebody.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go
That's
disagree.
evil.
Yeah, that's
no,
evil.
I wouldn't. I hate that shit.
I
hate when people do it to me.
I get uncomfortable with the thought of committing a crime. Yes, absolutely. You should. I usually just know. I know what to say to make other people do what I want. Disagree. Yeah. I'll do whatever it takes to feel a thrill. Disagree. No. It is important to honor financial obligations. Agree. Everyone else seems emotional and whiny compared to me. Not everyone else. I think neutral.
Yeah.
Helping other people instead of focusing on myself is usually a waste of time. Disagree. I don't understand people who are anxious or fearful all the time because nothing really scares me. Neutral.
I would disagree, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't understand people who are anxious all the time because nothing. Well, I'm going with the second part here. Nothing really scares me. I disagree. First of all, things do scare me, but I don't understand people who are anxious or fearful all the time. Yes, I believe that a little bit. Yeah.
No, I understand that, but the nothing really scares me part. So yeah, I get it.
Some people just aren't meant to succeed in life, and that's not my problem. Agree. Fuck. Yeah, it's true. Some people are useless pieces of shit. 19, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Agree, actually. Yeah, if a rule or a law would get in the way of my goals, I feel justified in breaking it. Disagree.
Same.
Now, postal code, I'll just, whatever.
You want mine?
So I got a 37.
Okay.
Few antisocial tendencies. These are the different, these are the 5 breakdowns, the groups, guys. I thought there was just like 3, but 20 to 35, no antisocial tendencies. So I'm closer to that, I guess. Few antisocial tendencies from 36 to 50, 61 to 79, our favorite numbers, some antisocial tendencies. 80 to 89, some signs of psychopathy. 90 to 100, several signs of psychopathy.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if we were to do that one like Howard, it would be off the charts.
Yeah, I forgot to do that part. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. That's super easy. We could do it another time, but let's just really quickly. I've always found it easy. Okay. Disagree. Other people make mistakes compared to me. Yes. I don't see a problem. Agree. If someone told me I hurt their feelings, I'd feel badly. No. I find most people boring or stupid. Yes. People blame me for things that are actually their fault. Agree. They're foolish. Agree. Seeing crying has little effect on me. Agree. It's fun to antagonize people. Yes. I get uncomfortable thought of committing a crime. Disagree. He fucking loves committing crimes. Yeah. I usually know what to say. Yes. I do whatever it takes to feel a thrill. Yes. It is important. Disagree. Honor financial obligations. Everyone else seems emotional and whiny compared to me. Yes. Helping others is a waste of time. Yes. I don't understand fearful. Nothing really scares me. To make this one Howard like, how would we do that one?
I think you got to go neutral because
neutral. Okay.
He doesn't understand people who are anxious or fearful all the time because nothing really scares me.
He's fearful and anxious all the time. So I have to disagree with that because but then we're changing the test score. So I guess we'll disagree. Some people aren't meant to succeed in life and that's not my problem. He'll say agree. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Disagree. Mm-hmm. If a rule, I agree. Okay. So now we'll do the same thing. Score the test. And 96.
96.
Your score suggests, it's funny, your score suggests that you may be high in psychopathy. And there's this picture of a guy like with a woman crouched and holding her knees and he's looking to beat her up or something. And that's okay. Well, won't bother with the rest of this. It all talks about what the level of 1 in 3 tend to be like this and blah, 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 blah. But either way, it's kind of a fun test, guys. Check it out for yourselves. The next one, scores for Benji, Memet, and Robin.
What is Benji got a 49. Ooh, he got a 49.
Way higher than me.
Extremely indecisive. Lots of uncertainty and overthinking the test.
Yeah, that's true.
Displayed some distrust in others. Impulsivity.
Yeah.
Possibly self-serving.
What?
Right.
Adorable?
Strategic.
Oh.
And daring and risky. Sometimes engaging in risky behaviors.
Oh, that's true. I've seen it myself close up. Now,
How can she answer that based on test taking? Risky behavior?
Well,
on test taking? I mean, obviously it's got to be like she's a fan of the show and knows that he would like go to people's doors and like fulfill their rape fantasies. So that I just question these, how she observes people.
And then he's constantly looking for, I mean, there was a time when he was paying for fucking sex with cartons of cigarettes.
Right. I mean, he's done a lot of sketchy things, sure.
Oh, yeah, totally. So if she is a fan that should disqualify her from the show, that's the other thing. She shouldn't know anything about the show if she's doing these tests.
Right. Do you remember when he went to Anthony Weiner's press conference and was asking all the questions?
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Oh, that was good.
Dr. Frankie, Robin and Memet were tied as most psychopathic. What was their score?
51.
60. 51. Oh, we weren't 60. Thank God.
No.
I thought somebody had a 60.
No.
The range goes to 60.
Yeah, you're 51.
In this category.
No, 79 said they had some in the 60s, but no, they didn't actually.
No.
Yeah.
This is very high, isn't it?
Dr. Frankie had very different observations for Memet and Robin.
If I'm in any way psychopathic, it's from hanging out with all of you people for the last 10 years. It has nothing to do with me or the way my brain thinks.
Sane people? Okay.
By the way, Robin's about
Memet.
Okay, number 13, Robin revealed.
Tell me about Robin. Is Robin better at least than Memet?
So she also demonstrated some narcissistic traits, but is more polished and
You're
personable.
kidding. Okay.
She can.
Everybody knows I'm a narcissist.
Yeah, she's yes.
So she can fly under the radar much more easily than Memet.
Right.
There's some egocentricity. She can be shrewd and calculated in nature if needed. She can also be really charming, engaging, and charismatic.
Yeah, just wait until we get till the next chapter of the Robin Quivers of Life book with Gayla. And when we start getting into, I couldn't charm this teacher like I could other people. Holy fuck. Robin's floodgates are open to attack Nosferatu now.
Listen, I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to go do a lap around here and take a victory walk. The rest of you can go deal with your problems.
And guess where he'll be lapping in his basement. Yeah.
That's right.
Sanest man in
right. I
the
don't
world.
have to be.
Yep, she's right. And the last one for this day is called Cheap Ass Motherfucker.
Just fucking
I haven't
beautiful.
watched the one with him and Wolverine yet.
Yeah, well, that's coming out. You can rent it right now or buy it.
Yeah.
But if you wait till the 12th, I think it's coming out on either Disney Plus or something.
Something you
those
can just
Netflix.
watch it on.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. You know what? I make a good amount of change, but fuck that. I'm buying it. Wait.
So you don't have enough shekels to pay for a $20 video of Wolverine versus Deadpool?
Apparently not. Hold on. Let me go. We're going to the next one. Let's see. November 13th. So the 13th clips?
Yeah, today.
Guys, we're going to play a little bit with time and go to the 13th, which is just yesterday, actually. And we're going to play these clips. But there's one here you got me that says Spanish accent or Sylvester the cat, which I typed Spanish accent or Sylvester the cat. That was that from which day?
That was from today. It was just a quick clip. I couldn't tell if he was trying to put on a Spanish accent or if it was his dentures crying for help.
There must have been a flood of fucking saliva on that mic afterwards. Listen to this, guys.
It's 2:51 p.m. in Barcelona, Spain.
It's like 3 seconds. Let me play that again.
It's 2:51 p.m. in Barcelona, Spain.
Barcelona, Spain.
Even if it was the accent, it was so overdone.
Well, number one, Imus never had a lisp. He had a sort of weird that, like, the voice was weird, but he didn't have a lisp. The guy could pronounce words. So anyway, we're going to go with the first one called Extortion Denied. It's a few minutes long, so give us some time to breathe. Let this one breathe, boys and girls.
Okay, so I want to preface this first two clips it's the 20-year anniversary of Richard and Sal. Yep. So for all their years of gay service, this is what they're going to be talking about, the bit they want to do to celebrate that. And yeah, for those of you who miss Richard and Sal, especially like Bobby Chicago, I know you don't hear much. Like, people ask, do they still work there? Well, yes, they do, and this is what they have to deal with.
Yeah, and they also they were a little late on the Cocktober stuff. They finished October and then went into Cockvember, I guess, to celebrate Cocktober. And then you got a little bit of Richard and Sal, but they're so token. You're more likely to hear Sal with UFO shit than any gay stuff these days. First one is called Extortion Denied.
That Richard and Sal were going to play a form of gay chicken, where they would have their fingers near each other's assholes, and then to see how close they get to putting their finger in each other's assholes in honor of their 20th anniversary. Yeah. And Richard and Sal agreed to it.
With these things?
Well, listen, we have a whole staff of people. Not one person.
A think tank.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I was handed a note that Sal and Richard have backed out of the bit unless they are paid extra. And I'm going to tell you guys, you will put your fingers in each other's assholes, and there will be a docking of the pay. What do you think of that? Extra pay.
Yes, sir.
Well, can we explain?
Please.
Okay, now, first off, we've established ages ago, and I believe this, I'm 100% sure this is the case, that when the budget, the salary for Howard went down, so the budget went down for everything, obviously, and ultimately, Howard TV failed, which is why they cut him. Like, it was just an albatross around his neck. He was paying people to produce a show that wasn't getting any ad revenue. There weren't enough subscribers for it. I mean, they literally had maybe a couple thousand subscribers at one point, but I'd say it was hundreds of people subscribing, not even thousands, back in the heyday.
Yeah, I don't even know the numbers, but it was like $12.99 a month.
That's a lot of money.
And so back then, that was in the 90s. I mean, good Lord.
So what happens basically now when they get people in the show, and we've said this before in previous episodes, they pay people per bit, per appearance, and if they're on for like an hour, literally it's like, pick up wages. So it's not you're getting paid, like they're getting paid. Richard and Sal, I'm sure, getting still some money for whatever, normally putting bits together and stuff, but if they want to do on camera stuff, they want more money because they're just not getting paid as much money anymore.
Right. If they have a salary, it's probably, borderline poverty level.
Yes.
For living in like New York City or Jersey area, which is some of the most expensive places to live. Let's just be honest. Besides like LA or
San Francisco.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah. Thank you. These guys, are trying to give a little pushback, and you can just see like he has no problem telling them they're going to be docked pay. Yep. Just the opposite. And if you also notice, they screamed out it was Will's idea to do this.
Interesting.
So Will knows what the boss wants, and that's why he's the head writer.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Richard.
Please send the money to me because I have to endure this.
Right.
Well, nobody else
on
staff wants to step up to do it either.
Oh, Richard, how much extra is it to have you and Sal stick your fingers in each other's assholes?
All we said was we've done gay chicken in the past, and Sal and I have always been up for it. But there's a prize because you've got to be motivated to do something. Sal and I are not excited to just stick a finger up each other's ass. You got to have a motivation for it.
All of a sudden, we got a work action going on here.
Yeah, well, everyone said these guys were negotiating like they were two lawyers all of a sudden in the writers' meeting.
We learned a lot from the cast from Friends, right, Richard?
So
I'd say they learned more from the cast of HR, and saying like, look, if we're going to do this, it better make some fucking money off of it. We were abused. We were basically, pressured into doing all this stuff back in the day, and we were too stupid to realize that we had some rights and we didn't need to do any of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, they're finally coming to terms with their pride and having a family and kids. Like Sal's kids are out of college, and Richard's got young kids, so he's got to deal with them seeing this in the future. He's probably realizing like, oh shit. And then all the people that he works with musically that he might still want to drum with someday. Yeah. He's got to defend this. So at least they grew some balls, and they at least stepped up and was like, hey, we need some cash for this.
Well, it's a little disturbing when you say if you want to see these clips, you have to go to like Pornhub. And like, so just imagine said, I saw your dad Richard on Pornhub. I mean, it's not something like, it's not like saying, I saw him on Saturday Night Live. It's not, there's a slight negative connotation here, guys. So I don't blame them for asking for extra scratch.
There will be no gay chicken. There will be no, in other words, this would be where each of you keep inching closer to the other's asshole until someone actually puts their finger in their asshole.
Yeah, but why would I care if I can finger Sal or not?
And what's the entertainment value, honestly? Like this is the thing. It was already kind of excruciatingly bad in 2007, but now in 2024, what's the joke? That they're not gay, and you're making fun of what gay, something that should be considered gay, but we're not supposed to because it's not funny.
They're just court jesters for Wiggy's pleasure. That's purely all it is. It's for him. Minstrel. It's not for anybody else.
That's right. That's right. And he's already got evidence of them. Like, he can go into the archives if he has, you can watch all this crap.
I don't know. I don't know why you do whatever you. I don't understand any of this. Honestly.
Howard.
Yes.
If he has an incentive to take the finger, it's not a contest.
No. Here's what it is. You want to get your finger in Sal's ass before he puts it in yours.
And then you want to, it's not to make you want to put your finger or get a finger.
That makes sense, Howard, now that you said it. Yeah.
Of course. That's the whole point of gay chicken. Why does anybody play gay chicken?
Explain that to us.
Right.
Oh,
well, they listen, I leave you guys alone in writers' meeting with a bunch of people can't explain gay asshole chicken.
Well, are we allowed to do that here anyway?
Probably not, so don't worry about it. I don't think you can insert anything in anybody's asshole.
You can do it if you go somewhere else, and we've done the prostate.
What, a
exams.
hotel?
Radio.
Yeah, but it's funny. They can't do it there anymore, but they used to be able to do it no problem. So what was the edict? Go ahead.
Well, Benji had to go to Perez Hilton's apartment to finger him. That was a whole bit. Yeah. It went nowhere. It was just dumb. Just hearing two guys yelling. Benji got fingered by Perez Hilton.
Right.
Who put on a glove and I don't know, just ridiculous.
Stupid. Next one, prickle ball and snow cone routine.
Gary and John Hine, prickle ball.
Yes.
Where they use our pricks on a table to play pickleball against each other. Like Gary will hold my dick, John Hine will hold Sal's dick.
But why am I celebrating your anniversary by holding your dick? You guys should hold each other's dicks.
Well, no, if you're celebrating us, you want to make us happy. So,
Oh, no, that's not how it works here. What are you, nuts?
No, we want some gay fucking free gay content for the boss so he doesn't have to pay twinks or use a pseudonym and a password because Ralph's no longer around to download that stuff and send it to him.
Right. This is just spank bank material for the boss, man.
Yep.
Harry, it's not about what you want to do. It's what we want you to do.
No, it's what we want you to do.
It's what we want you to do.
But it's funny if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be
taking your advice.
Sal, you should be fingering each other's assholes, and then to put a button on it, you should lick each other's fingers afterwards. That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. I got to admit.
Nope.
Hey.
No, it was not funny then. It's not funny now. The concept is not funny. The only time I did laugh was at people laughing at the concept back in the day when he already said, how much would it cost for you to lick Sal's balls? And I never saw it. Right. I didn't want to see it. I only heard the audio. I never wanted to look at it. But the sounds that Sal was making, like getting disgusted, I will admit to laughing back in the day at that. But then it just kept going. Like they kept upping the ante, unfortunately. And it was really, most of the callers, they all complain, like, it's getting too gay, guys. Sorry.
And that's, they don't care.
Right.
They will take all that feedback and throw it in the trash, all of it. Yep. And they'll just make up their own feedback for how great it was and fake it that people liked it. No.
Yeah, fucking gay minstrel.
Well,
we've stepped up a
my
lot,
problem
Howard.
We deliver
here's the
every
problem.
season. Yeah.
First of all, Richard, all of your pitches require an engineering degree. You're building walls. You know what I mean? This was a simple concept to celebrate your 20th anniversary. You guys play gay chicken with your assholes, and somebody ends up with a finger in their ass. End of the deal.
Or
Doesn't involve
not,
Gary.
because you can always bail before the finger gets in your
That's
ass.
what I said, Robin. The problem with it is, what if Sal and I just both bail and it's lame, you know?
You won't.
Yeah, because he's going to make sure they chase each other around, and Fred plays the saber dance, and it just keeps going on and on and on until one of them basically assaults the other and holds him down and shoves a finger up their ass. And then Howard can fake laugh for a couple minutes, and that'll be it.
That painful.
Howard, we can just finger each other right now if you want.
Did I understand this
It's your
correctly?
anniversary, whatever you want to do.
I don't want to do it, but I don't want to disappoint Howard.
I got the notes from the meeting, and then you guys pitched that you will eat yellow snow. In other words, snow that has been urinated on. You will eat it?
Our own urine, yes.
What the fuck is that?
No,
What
that's
kind of-
not a hazardous material at all.
What kind of think tank comes up with this?
Will is a degenerate. Philly is full of them, and he's one. He knows exactly how to push the boss's buttons to give him a little tingle, let's say, and get him excited. Yeah.
Ooh, Jesus.
Wow.
It's called yellow snow cone roulette. And we each get 2 snow cones. One is our piss, and one is lemon, like lemon water flavoring. And we have to pick one and take a taste and see if it's our piss or just lemon.
God. Oh, my God.
Do you like
Sal,
that one?
do you like that, Sal?
Sure. I'm all in.
Oh, wow. You guys are,
Like
you guys
Gary
are really
says, yes. It's,
you guys are team players. All right.
Like, are your noses cut off? Wouldn't you smell the fucking piss before it got anywhere near your mouth?
Yeah. And here's the kicker. You have to cool it down or it's just going to melt the ice. Fuckers. Oh, my God. It's so...
Gentle and spike the punch.
Right. That's enough
we have
for
a
me.
lot we have a lot of cock ideas.
Yeah, and we don't want to disappoint you, Howard. If you really want us to finger each other,
No,
we'll
I
do it.
don't want anything
Carrying
right
of
now.
the balls was a big hit. We want to do something, but
Yeah, we played Dick or Sausage for my birthday this year. We're up for it.
Fabulous.
I mean, to be honest, I'm a little self-conscious about my body right now, so the less I can show my belly, the better, but I'll whip my dick
you
out,
look
no
great.
problem.
You look great.
Thanks,
Stop it.
honey.
Yeah.
But
wow. He doesn't look like a bus with feet.
Yeah,
he looks like he got run over by a bus.
You really have. Richard has gained quite a bit of weight. What happened? You used to run and you used to exercise.
So just so you guys know, I did cut out 2 segments with the cock gauntlet where they were going to run down a hallway, or Gary had to run down a hallway while they were waving their dicks at him, and he had to dodge their dicks in a hallway. The other one was Celeb Edition Hawktionary, where they draw shit with their dicks in front of celebs, and they wanted Andy Cohen for that one. I didn't even, I had them clipped, and what I do is now I weed through and I delete 25% of what I clip. But I never know if I'm going to want to go back or how many I'm going to have by the end of the day. So in this case, I had like 20 some, and I cut it down to 16 for today.
Okay,
but that's what you guys get.
Okay, well, there you go. We may have a B-sides episode with the deleted stuff for anybody who wants to be disgusted. Well, I'll cover that with Wayne.
Yeah, I'll give them to you and Wayne, or you and Len to do.
Okay, next one. Lazy and angry bitch. This is a short clip.
I work way too damn hard. I really do. If anybody ever says to me, you don't work hard enough, fuck you.
Word of advice, folks. When you work hard, you don't never need to really say you work really hard.
No. So fuck you, Howard.
It's painfully obvious. Next clip, guys, is about their meetings. I'm sorry, I laugh because I gotta imagine that this meeting is maybe about as productive as, I don't know, the Goo Goo Dolls gay dance party. This one is about basically Booey fucking off on the job while they're in these meetings, doing a crossword puzzle, which I can't imagine he gets many words in the New York Times crossword.
No, well, here's the thing. It's they had a contest for fans to come in and get like a studio tour.
That's right.
And 5 winners get to bring a +1. So 10 people get to come in studio. They came in today, and the day before they had a big meeting with everybody in production. Everybody in the compound, all 70 staff is in this meeting. And Jason is leading the meeting. And now listen to what happens.
Yeah.
It's great.
And by the way, the tour, guys, is really legit and honest to God, because Howard's not going to be there during the tour.
Yeah.
So,
but Fred was.
Yeah.
And they had a big meeting yesterday, production meeting. And Jason was annoyed at Gary because during the production meeting, he was playing a crossword puzzle. Gary, Gary's supposed to be in charge. And Jason said it was super annoying. Right, Jason?
Yeah, he's my fellow executive producer here. And it was a big meeting where it was all about this fan experience we're doing today.
Hold on. He was my fellow executive producer. That implies
executive. Yeah.
That implies parity, but there's no way Jason's making Booey money.
I think Jason just does more than Booey, so he's brought himself up to that level with that title.
Yes.
Booey just delegates. It doesn't sound like he does shit. Wait till you hear all the other stuff that came out today.
I did, and it's amazing stuff. I can't believe they were this honest about it.
Like, it's one of those meetings where every department was involved, like serious departments, every video, audio, tech, the creative. And John Hine and I are leading everybody through exactly what's going to happen today, so everyone knows their roles and what they're supposed to do. And all of a sudden, we hear the sound come from Gary's cell phone.
Yeah, that sound?
That sound. And anybody who plays the New York Times crossword puzzles, which I do and several other people in that room do, that's the sound you get when you complete a crossword puzzle. So not...
So you mean during the meeting, Gary's playing his crossword puzzle?
There's no other explanation.
And his volume was up?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Gary, what's up with that? I mean, it's a production meeting for, you're supposed to be in charge.
I was listening. I had one word left in this puzzle, and I don't deny it even a little. I had a letter left. Yes, no, I was wrong.
What a fuckwad.
I might have to make the gif of him licking his lips while he's laying back sleeping in his office constantly.
I love that one.
Jason drives the bus right over Booey.
Said goodbye.
Meanwhile, Jason, I hear you're not innocent. Memet says you and Gary play Wordle during the show. Is that true? Is Memet right?
I know Gary sent out a Wordle during the Bruce Springsteen interview.
What?
No. Hold on. Sometimes I do mine in the morning and I don't send them out till later. That's bullshit.
What? Wordle. What is Wordle?
Wordle's another word game.
It's another game on the Times.
I'll take Sporkle for 200, Alex. Remember, why shouldn't they do something else when these fucking interviews go on? They have nothing involved. They have nothing to do with these interviews. Nothing's going to come up where they're necessary.
It just shows how bored and lazy and no effort is put into this show that we hear, 3 days a week for 3 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And that once they get their little bit of work done for the day, they just sit back and play puzzle games. Sure. Now I play Wordle. I usually play Wordle while I listen to the show. I've been playing for 3 years. I have a 97% rate.
Okay.
I'm quite proud of this. I often coach my kids on how to play because we all, but I play connections. I've played tiles. I'm very familiar with all this. So I started laughing because it's like, these are just mindless things you do when you're waiting in a doctor's office and you just want to pass the time.
Literally killing
it's
time.
Good
That's all they're,
good for your brain. So there's that little bit. But the fact that they're doing it during the biggest meeting of the week. And now notice Jason got dinged for it, but he immediately turns and picks the worst possible moment that Booey could have been doing it and throws him right under the bus as a distraction away from Jason himself.
Fucking around But in this, we got to finish this clip and then you'll see what happens next. Yep.
Website.
Listen to me. I'm playing down the law.
Howard, I do Wordle.
No Wordle during the show.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is really gross, what I'm about to tell you. I do Wordle first thing in the morning when I'm on the toilet.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're in a shared text message group. So myself, Gary, Memet, a few other people, John Hine, we do the Wordle and then we share our Wordle score. And that's how you know when everyone's taking a shit. Like literally, when you get that text, you're like, oh, John's taking a shit right now.
I found the fabulous. There we got our scat content.
So, because I have experience with this, I'll just explain this to anybody who isn't familiar. There's an app you can get with all these puzzles on it, and when you complete the Wordle, there's a button at the top. You just hit share. And you already have like a preset group of people that you compete with. Yeah. And you share it to them. So most people, when they finish it, they're all proud. They hit that share button. It's not like you sit on having that puzzle done from like 2 hours, 3 hours earlier in the morning when you took a shit, when you woke up. Yeah. And then you decide to send it later. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why? And okay, so just keep that in mind, and we'll keep going.
Next one is Memet grabs steering wheel out of Jason's hands.
Hey, Memet, what's up?
Gary fucked up yesterday, no question. But I cannot sit by while Jason gives him a hard time for that when both of them definitely play Wordle during the show a lot.
Look.
I love it, actually, because I hate Jason and I hate Booey. Memet, I'm indifferent with. I really don't hate Memet at all, actually.
Yeah, he's becoming a quick favorite just because he pushes back, kind of like Benji style. Yep. But he's also a disruptor like Jason. Yes. So he goes after Jason, who the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yes. Well, in this case, Memet is our friend. So
look, I give him full credit for fucking with Rasan on the wrap-up show to the point where Rasan basically it was death by Memet. And so he's no longer gone. Now, that means, unfortunately, if you're listening, you get more John Hine on the wrap-up show.
Honestly, it's better than Rasan. I listened to it. I'm sorry to say, I'm not a fan of Hine, but he moves the show along. He's vanilla, but that's better than, easily offended Rasan.
Yeah, well, and the other thing, we'll go into this one. Memet afraid to back up the bus. Interesting.
What time they play, how often they play, when.
We need a full report from you. Memet, he's all charged up.
I'm nervous because I'm like, I'm gonna get fired for this.
What?
What?
These guys are gonna make me pay for this. Watch.
What's going on? You're like choking on tears.
Are you all right? What are you doing? Are you trembling? Apart. What is going on?
I am scared because this is information I've had for a long time, and everyone's like, oh, God.
Information? Memet, we're on the same text thing for the last 3 years. What are you scared about it now?
I don't play during the show.
Okay. All right. We'll see. I'll do my own forensics.
Memet.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm sure he doesn't. If he says he doesn't, fuck it. Like Memet's actually been one of the few straight shooters on the show since he's been on.
And there's no flat out denial by Booey or Jason so far that they don't do it during the show. And we just found out Booey did it during the Bruce Springsteen interview, which remember he interrupted. Yeah. I think that was this year. Yeah. He interrupted. No, that was the solo. Okay, that was Pearl Jam. Yeah. That was different. Yeah.
That was a great clip.
Probably playing it then too.
That's not knocking. Next clip. That's not knocking, but rather nails in the coffin.
Hey, here's what the supercomputer came up with.
What supercomputer is this? Seriously, I just don't know what you mean.
ChatGPT. Okay. I gave it all the data, and it told me stats that it found interesting. Headline: Gary and Jason play Wordle while the show is live, and they've been doing it almost every show for over a year. I've been collecting the data.
I've been playing Wordle for a year and a sentence.
We can go back, Howard. You can look at all our phones. I'll open mine as well. In the last 2 months alone, Gary played Wordle during 16 out of 18 shows. Jason played 13 out of 18 shows.
So that's 89% of the time in a show, Booey plays Wordle. And Jason is 72%. I did the math on
I was going to say, it's looking like definitely 2/3 there.
Wow.
Memet played.
Never.
John Hine played.
Never. No. Jason takes an average of 3.6 tries to solve the Wordle. Gary isn't as skilled. He needs 3.8 tries on average. So they're sitting there solving it for a while during the show.
Jesus Christ.
Memet is acting like he's outside of all of this. Memet is the #1 wordler on
I do
the
it
staff.
before my
You
workday
do
starts,
it
Howard. I do it first thing when I wake up.
Sorry, I didn't put it into chat.
I have more.
Hold it.
Go ahead. That's great.
Okay, the knocking. Fine admitted on the wrap-up show today that he knows better than to play it at work.
Yeah.
And that other staffers, including Memet, like he vouched that Memet doesn't do it at work. He sends his results either before the show starts or after.
Yep.
And
Yep.
John knew the same thing, but he didn't even stop to think to tell Booey not to do it or whatever. And Memet has been keeping these files for a while, for months.
I love it.
So let's keep
And
going.
the next one is called Executive Producers Bored with Their Own Show.
Keep going.
It's another one where Memet played during work.
Both Gary and Jason have gaming activity spikes during segments involving Ronnie and JD. Thought that was interesting.
Here's
Gary
another,
frequently
one I
plays
found.
between 8:30 and 9:45 a.m., often during or following guest interviews. Jason rarely plays during guest interviews, preferring to play during Howard's monologues.
Monologues. I'm the same thing. What monologues? Unless it's a rant that he's talking about or something.
Usually when he opens the show.
Oh,
like
yeah,
early
yeah.
in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Next one. Gary busted with 0.0 defense. 0.0.
And ChatGPT was surprised by this. Gary often plays Wordle during segments related to music or celebrity discussions. I would think music would get Gary's attention.
Unbelievable. I mean, Memet, this is some report. And why? I mean, what the hell? It's so great, Wordle. I mean, my God, Miss Witz, can we have a no Wordle? Can we have a no Wordle policy?
Absolutely, Stern. Listen to me. ChatGPT just told me Memet is getting a raise. Woo!
Thank you.
Well, first of all, I thought you make your own rules. Well, you don't, clearly, and you haven't been since the last contract, I would say. But so the Jennifer Vitz thing is definitely a thing. And the reason, of course, we know because number one, he switched from being the premium show to now anybody with Sirius can listen to Stern, right?
Yes, I believe so. I will double check that.
Yeah. As far as I know, if he's no longer a premium, that means there's no reason to put it on premium because very few people are paying for it specifically.
Correct. And funny enough, my brother's ready to quit our membership. So I might have to start digging up some free memberships on Grubhub or something, which I don't even use.
Well, I would gladly pay for your subscription, whatever it is per month, just so you have the full access to it. So what does it cost actually these days? Because you can always negotiate them to fucking bare bones.
He pays $300 a year because he's got it on the radio in the house and then his car, and then we get the internet for free. So I just use the internet portion.
Yeah.
But he says he barely listens anymore, that he can hardly bring himself to it because it's so awful.
Well, I'm saying if you just paid for internet, it would be probably substantially lower.
I would think so. I don't even know if you can get that. I got to look into it because I'm going to do him this favor this Christmas and be like, look, sit it out. Hold my beer. I got this. And
taking one for the team. Okay, the next one. Memet's still driving.
Right.
Jason is more likely to play games during sports-related or fan feedback topics.
I thought you said it was a monologue.
Okay, so that's the short one. Next one. Basically, Booey base hell of this one. Basically, Booey has his mouth on the bus exhaust pipe now on the muffler.
Plays multiple games. Gary often plays several different games, Wordle, Strands, Connections, in sequence, particularly around 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. He appears more likely to switch games when guest interviews are on.
I don't.
Love it. Go ahead.
I heard this today and I'm like, we have to cover this tonight. It was so convenient that we were recording. Oh, what was it? Oh, the fact that he used to play Sporkle makes total sense now that he's got the app and he can see his stats and compete with everybody and show how good he is at the games. Oh, yeah. Good job, Booey.
Well, just like, do you remember back in the day, like when you'd see Howard TV clips and they were all busting they're busting his balls, and he's in the office and he's looking at a screen, but he's not using the keyboard. He's actually just using the mouse. He's clearly playing like fucking solitaire or Sporkle, and rather than doing actual work.
Mahjong, you name it. He's probably played, I can't remember that one with the bombs. Whatever they've got. Minesweeper. That's
Minesweeper. You're going way back into the murky waters of Windows 3.0, 3.1. So we'll go to the next one. Robin, I hate Wordle. What's Wordle?
You know, I can understand if you're working at a job you hate, but
get the hint.
Go home and play that Wordle. I hate Wordle. Yeah. What is Wordle? How do you do it? I don't even know.
It's a.
He doesn't know what it is, but he hates it.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
5-letter game, and
well, listen, there's no bigger enemy to Howard than the English language.
And Robin's not even explaining the game in the best way possible. You pick a word, right? And if any of the letters, there's a word for the day. You have to guess what it is.
Okay.
So you pick a 5-letter word. You get 6 tries. And if any of the letters are in it, they'll be highlighted yellow or green. If they're yellow, they're in the wrong place. But if they're green, they're in the right spot. So you build off of that.
Right.
And my advice to anybody is go through the vowels first. I do alien and shout. And usually that clears out A, E, I, O, and U. If I need to use Y, I do pricey. None of those letters overlap. And then usually you nail it right after that. But you get used to little tricks in the game. If you're good with,
Sure.
filling in the blanks or Wheel of Fortune type shit.
Right.
It's just a stupid game anyway.
Okay. Fair enough.
You don't have any real clues. You have to just start guessing. And,
how am I going to do that?
A favorite word that they start the puzzle with. And then from there, they get clues.
In other words, somebody go, here's 5 letters. Okay, I don't know.
No, they don't give you any letters. You have to decide on everything in Wordle.
God.
Yeah, what's your opening salvo? If that works out, you have a couple of letters maybe to work with, and then you go on until you find the word and you get 6 tries.
Just your explanation, I hate it already.
That's way too much that's way too much brain power for him. He's never going to play a game like that, ever.
No, he could never do it. Beth couldn't either, I'm sure.
He'd be using the same word 6 times and wondering why nothing's happening. The next one, guys. A new crop of clout-chasing grifters to torture JD.
Let's see. Let me say hi to all our fans here.
One of them's in love with JD, has been trying to DM with him and get a date.
Really?
Her name is Stephanie, and she's over here.
Where is Stephanie? She's an angel.
Stephanie, could you stand up?
Stephanie, what's the problem? You've been DMing JD. Are you really into him?
Yeah.
By the way, you're very attractive. I mean, I can't believe an attractive woman is into JD. Go ahead.
I can't either.
I just figured I'd shoot my shot. I've sent him some DMs. He
really
politely declined.
Would you be interested in him as a boyfriend?
I mean, I think he seems sweet. Yeah.
Sweet?
Nope.
Sweet?
Sorry, honey.
Is he sweeter than the peanut butter he put on a chick's pussy for a dog to lick?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Or told a girl to put. Yeah, go ahead. He didn't do it.
There were 2 other girls on the wrap-up show. One called in, one texted. They also are interested in JD. Apparently, he's up for grabs because he got divorced. For those of you that might not be aware. Yeah. And these girls, are all younger than him, and they sound like complete idiots, and they think he's charming. There's nothing charming about that mush mouth, marble mouth fuckwad of a person. He's barely human. He's subhuman. Right. And his whole life, it's disgusting. From his sheets to what he eats to his gambling, his card collecting, his spoon collection. There's no redeeming qualities about him that we've ever heard. None whatsoever. No, he was probably high on the sociopath test, but I didn't get a result for him. Just saying, I know we don't have a lot of time, and I want to get through these clips, and this is a long one, so let's keep going.
Yeah, JD's got all the charm of the fucking Scarborough rapist, so we'll keep going.
He's funny. You love him.
JD,
He's
where,
like your son.
where the fuck, JD, what the fuck is wrong with you? Here's a actual girl, not a rubber doll. She's actually willing to, you're not into her?
She's very
What's your
lovely.
name again?
I'm not, she's very lovely and beautiful.
Lovely?
I'm not, will you stop?
Beautiful.
Hush. I am not in a good place for anyone right now. So what the fuck
Needs
you?
to go to therapy, maybe.
I need a lot of things.
How cute she is. Did you send
she is,
JD?
but listen, I am not good for anyone right now. I am just not good for anyone right now.
Did you send JD any nudes of yourself, or
No.
That's the problem, I think.
She told me that he doesn't really respond to the request for dates, but that he does often look at her Instagram stories. You can see that he's
Not often. Sometimes he looks at my stories. I don't know if you're following me back. I'm not sure.
I did not follow you back, but
yeah, I don't think so.
So you do admit that you go on her Instagram stories to see what she's up to.
I'm sure I'm sure I looked before, but listen, I just it's not.
Fuck. He's such a wordsmith.
I know we need a break from him. Yeah. So I think because he's such a creep and lazy, that he's used to just getting chicks off of DMs, right?
Yeah.
That are fans of the show, that are looking to get some notoriety or something. And I think the guys on the staff, like Will, Ronnie, Hein, all clued him in, like, you got grifted by Tanko.
Yeah.
You can't do that again. You can't be getting chicks off the show. But here they're all pushing it in his face. And Hein was doing the same thing on the wrap-up show, saying we need to have a dating game with, well, it wasn't him. It was the producer of the wrap-up show, saying that we have enough girls to do a dating game with JD. We should. Clearly he's not ready to go into the dating world. But he can't enunciate that in any sort of way, of course. Oh,
well,
God.
he's honestly one of those guys, and I hate to be this depressing where it comes out like this, but he is one of those guys that should probably live the rest of his life paying for hookers, at least because it's transactional. I get it; it's not the ideal for a lot of people, but at least he knows this is just business. Like, I'm taking care of a need, and I don't have to worry. She's not going to grift me. The price is set. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get my nut, and then I'm going to leave, and then I don't have to deal with the relationship aspect. It's perfect for that's what he was. What prostitution was made for.
Exactly. He's better just developing a really hardcore porn addiction.
Yeah. That
would probably be healthier, and he could avoid any STDs or losing his money to women
and humans.
It's just, he's of that generation, I think, that they think what happens in porn is supposed to happen in real life.
Yeah.
Hence the wanting panties and the peanut butter and dog shit.
All the deviant shit.
Yeah, and he's sort of like he's definitely a millennial. And I think that's part of the problem with like millennials and younger is they don't have imagination to, masturbate.
No.
But like they need a visual. They need something right in front of them, either a stripper or porn or some kind of the cam girl stuff that he used to do. He used to love that because it was a power thing.
Yes.
He had power over women, and that's his deal.
Right. Because he has so little power over his own life.
Right. No control.
None.
Yeah, whatever. It's
so JD.
Yes.
JD.
Yes.
You're saying now no woman should approach you right now. You're not in the right. If Angelina Jolie wants a date with you, she should not approach you. Correct?
I would not be good for. I don't feel.
Dua Lipa or whatever the woman's name is.
Dua Lipa contacts you. You will not go out with her.
I'd have to
get yourself.
I would have to be. I listen. I would have to be upfront with her and tell her the kind of a mess of a person that I am.
Well, at least he admits he's a mess, but that's like saying the sky's blue. Next one, I won't get fooled again unless they have a dog and a tub of peanut butter.
You don't know about like join Hamas or
no?
I mean, what is going on? That
through past experiences, not just the recent one, but just overall, just things have not gone well, and I don't feel I am. I don't want to get.
So you've given up on women? Is that what you say? You're giving up on women?
I mean, basically, right now, yes. I feel I am a. I feel I'm a hindrance to other people. So
Stephanie, are you?
No shit.
Okay, who the fuck planted that word in his brain? Because he didn't come up with that on his own.
No.
Someone told him he's a hindrance to relationships because of whatever. He's not trying new things, not going places, not taking care of himself, letting himself get all flabby and out of shape, and just being, the whole gross, everything about his face, from his eyes to his beard to his hair, the way he talks. Obviously.
His personality, the worst thing to happen to that kid was getting in tow with Artie. It gave him this sort of false confidence, being on the road with Artie, getting paid some good money, going to see hookers and stuff, normalizing really, behavior that wasn't. It's not conducive to making the guy socially confident. I mean, dorks exist in every walk of life, but generally, it doesn't take much to get a bit of a rap and to learn how to talk to people. He doesn't know how to talk to people, doesn't know how to behave, doesn't know how to, have relationships clearly, and he's got such a low opinion of himself, but at the same time, he's got an arrogance about himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
he tells Howard to hush.
Yeah.
No one tells Howard to hush but him. That's why he's like autistic or something. Like there's definitely like a piece missing in his brain. The empathy and the social skills. Just the whole thing.
It's the entire cabeza. Let's go with the next one, guys. Steven Singer, I got that wrong. Steven Singer double whammies Wiggy with kids and money talk.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing they say. If you want to see if you're a good person or not, take a look at their kids.
There you go.
And if you raised a couple of good kids, you did good, and you raised 3 great ones.
Well,
Allison did.
All right.
Yeah, Allison did. And that's what I can't wait to get through those WYSP clips to look for all the Allison stuff. I've heard a little. There's not as much as I thought there would be, but the audio quality is fantastic. I'm going to give you guys the link. So that means you, not you at the audience, because there's no way I'm letting you at that. So it's just too much of a treasure trove.
Steven Singer, parenting advice.
Now, do I get a discount on this spot since I'm reading it, so part of it myself, or is it
I'll take care of the
full price?
Talk to me about, hell, I'm just going to sing. Steven Singer Jewelers.
Oh, my God.
How dare you, Steven Singer, after 30-some years, ask for a discount on an ad because you're reading it yourself? Don't you know who you're fucking working with?
Yeah.
So this is what he did to counter that, to take away all the negative attention about kids and money.
Yeah.
Is he sings bullshit to end the show.
And that's the first time we've heard Steven Singer on the air, isn't it?
He's been to events like the 60th birthday party. He says he's been over the years, like almost every year he comes to something. He might even be invited to the employee party. Maybe. I don't know, but he's pretty deep in with the guys in the show. As far as like birthday parties and events.
He's been advertising on the show for decades.
Over 30 years, yeah.
And it was funny because like in the, we covered the Casey Saga Part 5 with, that I covered just recently with CA. One of the gifts he gives the guy with the foot fetish for Casey is a Movado watch. You know how much that costs? You know,
thousands.
Yeah, they're not cheap. And that's a lot of watch to give away for essentially ad revenue.
Right. Plus all the guys on the staff have gotten engagement rings there from like Memet, JD, Ronnie, Will, maybe Jason. I can't remember who else.
I'm certain.
And then Robin gets
an
dipped roses.
There's an employee discount they're getting from him. Absolutely. If they say they're with the Stern Show, he probably gives them like 30% off. Like he'll give them stuff at not cost. He'll make some money off of it, but they're going to get a substantial discount for it.
And they have to mention on air, of course, that where they got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love them so much. You always get the greatest prize. Oh, Steven Singer Jewelers. Steven Singer Jewelers. He gives you the best deal ever.
sorry, but that was the palate cleanser, believe it or not, for the JD stuff.
I guess so. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking with this one. We're going to cut another one in very soon in the next week or so. We hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm going to try to put this one up on for Sunday for the live premiere. So for the premiere live chat, if it does get through, censor, not what do you call it, copyright and stuff. If it doesn't, you guys have to be on Patreon and you're listening to it already. So I'll shut the fuck up. Go ahead.
Thanks to everybody who's part of our group. If it's okay, I'd like to make a dedication.
By all means.
Missing persons words for Mumblemouth JD for Howard, because I think if you look at the lyrics to that song, it pretty much sums it all up.
Oh, perfect. That you've got it for your mouth to JD's demented ears. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. Take care.
Bye, guys.
This guy sounds exactly like I was at a bachelor party when I was a longshoreman. This Cuban guy was drunk sitting right next to me, and this ugly stripper was giving me a lap dance. She put her spread ass right in my face, and this Cuban guy kept going to me, Artie, eat the spider. Eat the spider. Eat the barking spider. I mean, like he was possessed by something. And we were like, dude, what are you talking about?
El
like,
Creepo.
What is the spider?